Hey, we haven't had one of these in a while. We'll humor this guy.
Boring.
Benny in Texas. What's up, Benny?
Oh, here we go.
You guys suck. You guys blow. It's just a rip-off of the Howard Stern Show done in a bad way. You guys aren't funny. That's why they took your ass off premium channel, because nobody wanted to buy your ass. My rates went up another $1 to pay for your sorry ass. You guys suck.
Are you talking so fast so we can't interrupt you? Why don't you just slow down and talk one sentence at a time?
No, I'm done. I just
That's
didn't
it?
want to interrupt.
But why are you listening if it sucks?
Yeah, Benny, that's what destroys your whole argument. Hold on, Benny. No, it destroys your whole argument. There's about 200 channels on XM, so why are you listening to us then?
I'll tell you why, because I wanted to know what it was all about, and you guys suck. I wanted to give you guys a chance, but you guys blow.
Yeah, it was very obvious that we sucked last night when we were at the HBO taping. Nothing but love in the room.
Well, good for you.
Anything else, Benny?
No.
Who's your favorite comic?
Do you realize that, you know, we were going to just leave him alone, but do you realize that Howard Stern's ratings just are just nosediving here in New York and nosediving all over the country?
Well, that's fine. That's fine. He gives a better show.
What else do you like from 1986, sir?
Yeah, he used to do a pretty good show. I'll give him the props, definitely, but he's been calling it in for years. So for you to say that is just, is dishonest. The guy's ratings came out here in New York. We haven't even really talked about it. It took a nosedive. He's going nowhere. Do you realize when he goes to satellite radio that this show is going to have a much bigger audience right off the bat?
I'm sure it will. But, hey, you guys just ain't funny. Now, come on.
Well, then go somewhere else. You're obviously listening. That's what amazes me. When I don't like something, I don't. First of all, I stop listening, and second of all, I don't go out of my way to call the host of the show.
Benny, you'll keep listening.
How do I know if I'm not going to like it? You know, if I don't give you a chance. So I'm giving you
all right,
a chance.
listen.
You'll keep listening,
all right, listen. You gave us a chance. You hate it, so move on. That's how it works.
Well, how long do you...
And you know what? And if enough people hate the show and don't like it and move on, guess what? It'll take care of itself. We will not be on the XM platform. That's how it works, Benny.
Exactly.
But guess what? Guess what? We're going to be here for a while.
You'll keep listening,
Benny, how long have you listened? Just for today?
No, actually, I've listened for a week.
For a week.
So you actually spent a week listening to something you didn't like? Dude, you're an idiot.
No, I did not. I spent a week trying to get to know the show.
No, dude, I listen. I don't know what decision-making process you go through, but I'll listen to something for like 5 or 6 minutes, and I can pretty much tell if it's my vibe. Are you that stupid that you would spend a week?
Sometimes there's just something that during the part of the show that sucks, but maybe something else along the way might be funny. But you guys aren't funny.
Well, it's boring.
Dude, the bottom line is this. Dude, you spent a week listening. You're a dumb motherfucker.
I am paying for XM satellite.
Dude, I don't care.
I know you don't care.
What you pay for,
Benny.
You have a menial job. Keep spending your hard-earned money on us. You're paying for us.
Benny, you're not paying for the actual Opie and Anthony show. You're paying for the whole XM platform. So if you don't like this channel, then there's a million other ones to choose from.
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
A million now they got.
You don't have to try to say it's that you're paying just for us. That's not true.
And also, Benny, I don't know if I want you to let me in, but my DVD is funny that you can get on richvoss.com. Why don't you give that a chance?
He's right.
Give it a plug. Okay.
Benny,
look, I got to get to work. I appreciate you guys giving my call. Appreciate it.
Well, let me ask you a question, though. How does it feel to voice your opinion and to understand that nobody in this room cares about you at all?
I feel better.
I'm not even trying to bust your balls. Nobody in this room, your opinion is absolute. You work your whole life and you sweat and you put your money in the bank, and we don't care if you die on the way to work this morning.
Okay. All right, well, you have a good afternoon.
Keep listening, stupid. And you will.
I just love calls like him because, they're just running out of steam to defend Howard and try to talk about his show. Like, people aren't as passionate about Howard's show anymore.
Howard had a little boost when the whole FCC thing happened, and when he said he was going to satellite. People tuned in to see what was going on, but that quickly just dissolved again. The latest ratings came out. He's in the toilet. He's being beaten by Spanish language stations, and it's just
that's in his hometown.
I mean, that magic just is not there anymore. It's just not there.
That's in his hometown. He's in some markets. This is stuff he doesn't like to talk about. Not even some. A lot of markets, he's out of the top 10, out of the top 20.
It's not the days of old where this guy could go out and pack stadiums and go to book signings where they're wrapped around the block 800 times. That's the past, and people for some reason still think that's going on. They got this fan mentality that they absolutely believe.
That's the point I want to make, though. Not as many as there used to be.
No, not as many at all. But there's a couple of these. There's these fans that actually believe that it's still the glory days. That calling up and going, "You suck, Howard Clones," and "Bob Booey," and things like that are like relevant.
Yeah, but what? Even still, why can't you like two? You know, what's the difference? Why can't you like Stern?
Shut up, diplomat.
No. An irritating little bit of. Stop trying to put gems of wisdom. You're a dumb guy. Accept it.
Okay, that's a good point.
Relax. He's never calling you to go on the show.
I know. Listen, you think I would? You know, first of all, you know I would.
Steak and cheesecake. Shut up.
First of all,
just relax.
Shut your face.
No,
shut up. When steak tells cheesecake it can't talk, cheesecake won't like steak.
Just ride this train and shut up.
You know I'm not.
Just shut up.
Why can't they like bullshit?
Why didn't the slave masters just look at the slaves as people and everybody get along, you ideologue idiots? I don't know. Why didn't the Germans and the Jews shake hands in the 40s and cut all the malarkey out?
I don't understand.
Confused, naive little boy.
You know what?
Awful wart-ridden man. Shut your face.
It's becoming more and more obvious to the people out there that Howard's just calling it in. Has been calling it in for years. He's all he does is come up with excuses why he can't do a radio show anymore. When the fact is, he just doesn't want to do a radio show anymore.
He doesn't have to. He signed up for his latest and last payday. That's it. Sirius and Mel over there, they're handing this guy $500 million.
And you know what?
Godspeed. Congratulations on your contract. That's a lot of money. But for anyone to sit out there and believe that this guy is doing this for the sake of radio and to make his show better and to give the people a better program, you're just being stupid.
You'll see for yourself, I guess.
The guy's going to collect a check. And he really has given up. He gave up a while ago.
And the whole, everyone's ripping me off.
It even used to be funny.
It's starting to be very, very embarrassing.
But now it's really stupid. Anything that's brought up, the guy insists he invented. It's been that way for years. It was funny to goof on for a while, but now it's just sad. It's like someone's grandpa sitting there just saying that I remember that I came up with that one. That was my idea. Shut up. You didn't invent everything. When he says that one line during that WOW thing, where it's like, tie the bandana around the car, Fred. Fred, tell him. And he goes, I did it. I did it all, he says. He actually said, I did it all. Which means, in radio, if you even have an inkling that you might come up with an original idea, just put it out of your mind. Because he's already done it all. He's covered it where you can't possibly come up with something new.
He's now recently started doing a bit that is the hackiest, oldest radio. Holy crap!
Ooh.
Bam!
Well, that's a plane's wings ripping off.
Was that the old footage?
I think it was.
Wow. Yeah, a plane just crashing without wings. Oof. On Fox News. We all have ADD, I know. Where were we? Yeah, he's starting to talk about this bit he just started doing, right? That is the hackiest, oldest, one of the oldest radio bits.
Yeah.
I was doing it in college radio. I did it at BAB. And I'm not trying to say, he ripped me off, because that's ridiculous. Because I just know.
You picked it up from somewhere. It's just something that was out there.
I just know of many, many shows that did this bit years ago. I'm telling you, I got a tape of doing the same bit 10 years ago, and now he's claiming that he came up with this thing, and now he's pissed off because other guys are doing it.
Yeah.
It is the simplest thing. You guys out there could probably relate. You probably did it with your friends. You call 2 Chinese restaurants, and you get them to talk back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You order from one guy, and then the other guy responds, and it goes back and forth. I was doing that 10 years ago, and I know other guys that were doing it,
long before that.
10 years ago, whatever.
It's a prank call that kids would do at home that just kind of made its way to radio.
So it's really embarrassing to hear that, he finally discovers this bit that's been going on for years, and now is claiming that people are ripping him off by doing this bit. It's like, dude, are you insane? People could look up this stuff now. It's not like
the first one to call a bowling alley and say, "Do you have 10-pound balls?"
It's not like the old.
How do you walk? That was me, Robin.
It's not like the old days where there was no internet, so it's a lot tougher to check up on some of these things. That's a bit that's been out there for years. I mean, years.
Is your refrigerator running? Well, you better catch it because it's running. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? I got a colored girl in a glass fishbowl. How the joke goes, but
It's a dunk tank, right?
It's the dunk tank.
That Jay Moore line about it being a dunk tank was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Ralph, what's up?
You know, another thing that kiss-ass Dick Leno rips off is he's got this guy he calls Ross the intern.
Yeah.
You know, and like
I don't know what that is.
And he's some intern, you know, and he's like, here's Ross the intern. No, nobody did that before you. Nobody knew what an intern was before.
Now, you know what?
Here's a guy, a fan, pumping him up.
Here's the difference between the shows. If someone called in with that with us, we would fucking destroy you.
No one had interns.
But, you know, his listeners have to, you know, stroke his ego, and he's actually going to go with this call like it's serious.
Now he's going to go with it.
What an intern was before you started profiling somebody like that, you know?
I see the way I've influenced television and what has gone down in the last, since I've got on in L.A., which...
Oh, my God, you can't be serious. Stop it. It's an embarrassment. It's embarrassing to listen to.
Howard, you're so out of touch. You have no idea how embarrassing
you sound like a doddering fool. What a buffoon to get on that mic and how he's influenced television and stop it. Yeah, you know something? The guy brought something to radio. He absolutely did. There's no denying that. At the pinnacle of his career back in, you know, the late 80s, early 90s, the guy was the hottest thing that radio had seen in you know, some time. But to get on and just claim that you invented everything and had this overall influence on the entertainment industry, be realistic about what you did. You know, be proud of it, but realistic. Christ, the guy is coming off like Jonas Salk.
He forgot how to have fun on the radio years ago. Years ago.
Done.
Play, which is over, I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah.
Hugely. Look at Friends. The way they used to talk on that show, it was so, you know, the way you talk on the show.
Yeah, I know.
Even all of reality television, if you want to get right down to it.
Wait, what?
Reality television?
Was he saying Friends? Did he say that Friends, look at the way they talk on Friends? Is this caller goofing on him? Is this caller setting him up to look stupid? He's doing a great job. Did he actually say that Friends, the dialogue in the sitcom Friends, was influenced by the Howard Stern show, and Howard agreed? Did I hear that? I'm not even joking. I want to know if I heard correctly. Wow. Let me hear that again.
On that show, it was so, you know, the way you talk on the show.
Yeah, I know.
Even all of reality television.
Oh, okay. I got to go way back. I'm sorry. Way back.
Friends.
You know, we'll just start over. Fuck it.
Ralph, what's up?
You know, another thing that kiss-ass Dick Leno rips off is he's got this guy he calls Ross the intern.
Yeah.
You know, and like
I don't know what that is.
And you know, he's some intern, you know, and he's like, here's Ross the intern. No, nobody did that before you. Nobody knew what an intern was before you started profiling somebody like that, you know?
I see the way I've influenced television and what has gone down in the last, since I've got on in L.A., which is over, I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah.
Hugely. Look at Friends. The way they used to talk on that show, it was so, you know, the way you talk on the show.
Yeah, I know.
Even all of reality.
Wow. Apparently this is Ralph, his hairstylist.
Oh, it is Ralph?
Yeah. Okay. Just feeding Howard this shit, this drivel. Friends.
Which, by the way, they plan in advance.
Of course. Friends was... Now, I've never been a big fan of the show Friends, but I have caught some episodes of the show Friends. There is... You can't even come close to showing any kind of Howard Stern influence.
I don't know that. There was one... I don't watch it much, but there was one time where Chandler walked into the room, and I think it was David Schwimmer walked in, and he walked in, he goes, hey, how are you? And I think Chandler said, I'm fine. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, where is that from? I'm like, that is such an original way of talking. That has to come from somewhere, and I'm glad I found out where it was.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I'm wrong then.
Even all of reality television, if you want to get right down to it.
Hey, you know what really pisses me off more than anything?
All the reality.
Oh! The reality television. is directly linked to the Howard Stern show. Holy Jesus.
Hey, you know what really pisses me off more than anything? This Telepictures who we did a thing on the air for years called the Homeless Game. Still do it. And after the first 2 times I did it on the air, the Homeless Game, I got calls from every television guy out in L.A. saying we'd like to do, because I said I might develop a TV show like this where we go out and ask people stuff, then we bet on it. And they all called me, and I said, well, quite frankly, I don't need, including Telepictures, I said, I don't need you guys to do this. I'll do it on my own. And I started to develop it.
Yeah, sure.
Next thing I know, they got the show Street Smarts.
Street Smarts, yeah.
It's in its 6th.
Is he claiming Street Smarts came from him?
I don't even know what Street Smarts is.
Oof. It's a game show where they have contestants in the studio, and they have to guess what people on the street are going to say an answer to a question. So they'll have a question, who invented the cotton gin, and then you'll have 3 people on the street, and the people in the studio have to guess who's going to get the right answer.
By the way, a very old radio bit.
Oh, stop.
An extremely old radio bit.
It's called Man on the Street. It was done in the fucking 30s.
Steve Allen did it.
It was done in the They interviewed people at the Hindenburg crash.
Dude, Steve Allen did it with a microphone that was so big.
Right.
He needed 2 people to carry it.
Stop it already.
Because they didn't have the technology worked out back then, but he was doing it.
All the stuff that Howard said he came up with and wanted to develop. The only show he developed is a ripoff of the Naked Gun things done on a beach. That was pretty much it. Every genius idea he never pursued, and eventually it was ripped off from him and someone else did it. So the one time he actually did produce a show and put it out, it was a blatant ripoff of the Naked Gun movies done on a beach setting. What the hell is the lifeguard series there?
Son of a Beach?
No, the one that was done with with the tits and
Baywatch.
The fucking Baywatch. Jesus Christ, I'm insane.
I
Baywatch. By the way, I invented that. And it's a rip-off of Baywatch and the Naked Gun things. It's all that pun-type humor and sight gags that the Zucker brothers did. And he took that, and that's the one he came up with. All the brilliant ideas he passed by to have other people rip off from him, and that's the one he came up with. A blatant rip-off of the Zucker brothers. Stop it. You're an old fool.
Oh, they got the show Street Smarts.
Street Smarts, yeah.
It's in its 6th season. And it's just like I don't know. It's just so weird. And they called me at the time and said, they just went ahead and did it on their own.
Right.
And I said, you know what? So what if they do it on their own? They did it lame. But meanwhile, they've got 6 seasons.
For 6 years.
They're making a lot of money off of it.
It's a horrible show. I mean, they make it not funny. And it's
still doing well. And I'm such a jack-off because I go, when these guys get a hold of stuff, they don't make it funny, it'll never succeed. But it does, because the world accepts mediocrity.
Well, they ruined the evaluators. Are You Hot was a bad version of that.
Yeah, well, forget about that. Don't even bring that up.
Don't get started there.
They did kill that.
Don't get me nuts with that one.
But I mean, basically, these guys do take stuff and make it worse. That's what makes it. And a whole generation of kids think it's... Do you remember about a year ago we were in a meeting and someone pitched a version of the street game, the homeless game, and one of the interns, who, it's not his fault, he said, that's just like Street Smarts.
Yeah.
I would throw something at him.
Well,
I get 100 letters a week. I get 100 letters a week, and people go, hey, man, I like how you rip off Jay Leno's bit, whatever that's called.
Jaywalking.
And you want to just pound your head into the wall because
Please do.
Jay Leno is so smug.
Stop exaggerating. You're getting 100 emails a week.
I'm saying you're ripping off Jay Leno. It's Man on the Street interviews. This is a staple of radio. Marconi did it. What the... This is not... How do you claim something that has been done for decades, for a century? It's called a Man on the Street interview. Whether it's serious or you bring humor to it, it's still going out on the street and interviewing people. Ripping me off. He doesn't even realize, in his head... He actually believes this. What a fool.
Yeah, someone's got to email me the whole recap about how he was talking about the Chinese food prank and how everyone's ripping that off.
Ripping that off. A prank phone call.
A bit that's been done for a really long time. Every radio guy...
Alexander Graham Bell did it to Watson.
Yeah,
called him up, said, "Watson, come quick, I need Chinese food." And then put a Chinese guy on the other end.
Every radio guy that
somewhere else, I guess.
Every radio guy that attempted to do, personality radio did that bit. Some really bad, and some pulled it off and did okay with it. Spicknick is on the line here. Spicknick, what's up?
Yo, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
I was just on the internet the other day just bullshitting on E-Bounds World.
Yeah.
Dude, it's on there, and it's like a British DJ, and it's the exact same fucking thing.
Oh, well, that's why I want to find the recap, because, like I said, the prank is you call two Chinese restaurants, and they go at each other. They have no idea what's going on. They think each place is ordering food, blah, 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 and it's really, really funny. You got to do it a bunch of times to get one that you could air on the air, right?
Oh,
so I swear to you, I got a tape of doing it 10 years ago. I'm not trying to claim anyone ripped me off because I got it from somebody. It's just one of these prank call staples that a lot of guys just used to do on radio, in frat houses. So Howard finally discovers this prank and does it, I guess, recently, okay? Then someone calls and talks about the guy in Britain that did the exact same thing. Howard actually says the guy had to have flown to America and heard his show, then flew back, and then did the prank on his radio show.
What an old buffoon.
But I can't find the recap where he talks about that.
What an idiot.
Someone brought it to our attention because actually someone out there has the actual file that I did years ago. I guess it's on one of the file sharing boards or something. So.
I've read some emails and stuff from people and posts on the message boards that say, why do you even talk about them? Why do you even address things like this? Because somebody has to point this out. It's somebody. He's gone. How many years has this guy gone on and just spouted this crap? It has to occasionally be pointed out.
Well, and you can make jokes, whatever, but I'm speaking up for a lot of the DJs that were ripped off by Howard.
Yeah.
And then Howard, squashes them and makes them look stupid because his listeners will believe whatever he says.
Yep.
And a lot of guys had some really, really creative bits out there that were stolen from that Howard stole.
But Bongo is one of the biggest ones.
It's a known fact. And before the internet, you could get away with that crap. And he did. And that's why I'm convinced that's why he yells and screams the most about how everyone's ripping him off, because he's the biggest rip-off artist out there.
Two poor bastards trying to eke out a living on the radio in Maine came up with butt bongo. They would play music and take the chick and have her naked and play the bongos on her ass. And some caller called into Howard and told him about that bit. And Howard goes, "Wow, that's really funny. There isn't anybody. I can't believe radio guys actually came up with something funny." And then as time went on, he started doing it and actually based a DVD or some kind of pay-per-view thing on the whole thing. It was like what? Blatantly ripping off two guys. Two poor bastards, don't even know who they are or anything. And he goes on a daily basis and talks about how he just invented everything.
He's going to get his ass killed on satellite radio.
Have fun over there at Sirius, man. Have fun over there at the little doggy company. Have fun with your buddy Mel over there.
Unless he figures out how to have fun on the radio again. Because he hasn't had fun in years. In years. And he loves XM satellite radio. He has one. He listens.
Yep.
He loves it. He wanted to come here, but because of something that he has with Anthony and I, he refused to come over here. That's fine, whatever. The company said, well, whatever. Have fun, because they're not XM's not basing their whole company around one stupid show. It's just not how satellite radio is going to succeed. It's just not going to succeed that way. All right. Here's Howard Stern talking about XM satellite radio. And we know for a fact, because we still have friends over at the old company, he's furious. He's gone to the company. He's gone to his bosses. And he said, please, shut these guys up. They're playing my audio on their show and goofing on me. And the company, because they feel like they got screwed by him, they're like, tough shit, buddy.
Yeah, all they have to do
is
send over cease and desist.
And they refuse to do it. They will not do it for him.
Nope.
Because and this is the beauty of why we're doing it. Because in the old days, we would point out some of this dumb shit, and we would get yelled at, screamed at behind the scenes, threatened to be fired and sued and all sorts of stuff because he couldn't handle it. And he's still playing that game, but no one's listening anymore. They're like, oh well, Howard, too bad, too fucking bad.
I invented that.
So here's Howard Stern talking about XM satellite radio.
If you're planning a road trip this weekend, it's time to take XM satellite radio along for the ride. XM gives you 100% commercial-free music. It's the ultimate playlist with channels for album rock, alternative, heavy metal, hip-hop, unsigned bands, blues, jazz. There's an XM channel for everyone in the family, including the biggest names in news, sports, talk, and comedy. All in digital quality sound for less than $10 a month. No wonder it's the most listened to satellite radio service. The XM Roadie from Delphi can turn any radio into an XM radio. It's the smallest satellite radio ever, so it looks great on your dashboard. Plus, for a limited time, you'll also get a free home kit, so you can connect XM to any home stereo. XM makes a great graduation or Father's Day gift. Check it out. Electronic stores, including Best Buy and Circuit City. Beyond AM, beyond FM, it's XM Satellite Radio.